Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. We've got a good division rivalry coming up here in the AFC, and these two teams have met once already, so they are more than familiar with one another's tendencies, and maybe more importantly, their weaknesses. It's the Broncos going up against the Chiefs. With that, let's hand it over to Brandon Gotton and Charles Davis. They've got the call of this Week 12 matchup.
Larry, as always, it is a frenzied atmosphere inside Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. Today, it's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we've got a good one in store between the Denver Broncos and the Kansas City Chiefs.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
It'll be a pickup of 10 yards, and that'll make it second and a foot or so.
That's a good, strong run there. While it won't pick up a first down, it was definitely something needed by that offense. A positive run. They got a good push by their guys up front. Maybe something they can build on as this game continues.
On second down, Anderson. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It's a loss of 4. Now third down.
Brandon, that play ended so fast, it's almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner, and the tackler was there right away for a loss of yardage.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. Back to throw. Gets it to Strong. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Pass complete, but no gain.
No yards.
Yeah.
So you file that as unsuccessful.
Yeah, you do, don't you? Except on the stats, throwing the ball.
Get a completion.
You get a catch.
Yeah.
But still, no yardage. Okay.
This is brought in at the 21. A good return there, 17 yards. And the offense will come back onto the field for the 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. It's complete to Chris Conley. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. It's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
Josh Ferguson with his first carry. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now. And a look now at how the Broncos line up defensively.
Chris Harris Jr. is not a name that rolls off the tongue quickly, but it should. He's one of the best cover corners in the league.
They're going to look to throw. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line.
They hit that crossing route really well. Excellent timing, puts it right on him, and he keeps running.
Yeah, turned it upfield for good yardage. And now inside the red zone, the offense will operate. On 1st down, Ferguson. And he'll get this down only to the 18. 2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback and disrupt things.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. 4 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 3rd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Whenever I see an in-route dropped, as we just saw on that play, I'm always thinking that in the back of their mind, they're worried about what's coming at them because they're going towards traffic on that route as opposed to being away from it and maybe having a little bit more space.
So the opening drive for them here on their home turf results in a field goal.
Now that's the way you want to get things started. Your stadium, your crowd, you've got the ball, put points on the board first and let everyone start to celebrate.
Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
They go play action here on first down. No escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Justin Houston in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. They'll come out in the pistol. They'll look to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. So the screen good for only 2. Now it's third down. The offense on your screen now, and our first look at C.J. Anderson.
And what a look it's going to be. Making a name for himself rapidly, running the football.
Third down, still 14 yards left. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he's got his man on the comebacker. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
First down. Here's a run with Anderson. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41. The tackle there by Quandre Diggs. And a glance now at the Chiefs' defense.
Dontari Poe emerged on the scene fast as a young player and continues to make big plays at defensive tackle.
Again, Anderson. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Back-to-back 1-yard runs here, so that leaves him with a third down at 8.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And that is incomplete. Jalen Strong, the intended receiver, and that brings up fourth down.
Let's go ahead and try and get into the body and the mind of the linebackers. Yeah, I know they're bigger and stronger than I ever was, but in this situation, they understood what was going on as much as the offensive guys. Because the offensive guys are always taught, find the first down sticks and make the play. On defense, what do you want to do? Guard the first down line. Make sure they don't get there and tackle them in front. They were able to drop in their zone coverage, figure out where the first down line was, and end up making the play, swatting it away so they couldn't get the completion.
Now let's go. They'll try and start this drive in the air. McConley's got it over the middle. And he's able to get this one up to the 45-yard line. They get 25 yards out of that one. And it'll give the Chiefs a first down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And Thomas has it. And he's brought down. They'll get 19 yards there. And that'll be good for a KC first down. And a nice pitch and catch to pick up the reception against man coverage.
Both of them read how much yardage they needed, figured what they had to do, and were able to beat the man coverage for the completion.
To throw now on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
So incomplete on first. Let's see what second down has in store. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Malik Jackson in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. Out of the gun now on third down. He's going to float this one deep right side. So they took a shot there on third down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
They'll send this one into the Midwestern air, and it's a good one. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play. One of the toughest things for an offensive lineman to learn is the ability to get in space and hit people who are moving targets. And linebackers are not easy ones to hit because they know how to move, juke, and make you miss. And that's exactly what he did on that play. A nice play for the defense.
He'll look to throw. Gets it to Strong. And he'll lose yardage on this one back to the 13. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
They completed the screen on the perimeter, but boy, that was textbook defense. Exactly as you're taught to play against a wide receiver screen, and they snuffed it out for a loss of yardage.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Looking for Strong, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the free safety, Eric Berry. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. And the Chiefs now getting set to go. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get it, push it, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
That's caught. It's Thomas. And he doesn't quite make it. They do stop him, but he gets it all the way down to the 1. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is now with his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. They'll run it. This is Ferguson. And he's going to take it into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Josh Ferguson with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Chiefs add on to their lead. And Charles, he's able to dive in there in a short yardage situation.
Just find a place to get to the end zone. Didn't matter where it was, but once he did, used his nose for the end zone and dove in.
Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
And he's brought down after a good game. It's a gain of 21 that time. And it'll be first down, Denver.
That was a beautifully executed screen pass. Let the rushers get upfield. The blocking forms in front. Lofted it to the runner. And now, not only does he have open space in front of him, he's got an escort as well, and they pick up big yardage.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Quick hitter here. It's complete. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. A big play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Broncos have cut it to within a score. Good pass, clean catch, and a house call there on the fly route.
And not that much room to operate. So that tells you about his acceleration. We always talk about being able to go from 0 to 60 real fast. It took him less time than that to get to top speed and complete that play.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. One receiver left, 3 to the right. They'll look to throw now on first down. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. No gain, and it's second down.
So many screen passes are the result of excellent acting by everyone. But sometimes the guy who's getting the ball tips the play off. You know, the running back, because he's eager to get the pass. And sometimes he doesn't act very well about what he's going to block or leak out or whatever. And I think that they saw that. That's why they're able to get to him on it.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll lead here to a third down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. That's pulled in at the 32. That'll wind up being a 50-yard punt, though they do get 10 back on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here's Anderson as they begin this series on the ground. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
See if they stay on the ground for second down. In the backfield is Anderson. He'll drop to throw. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. The 21 yards there as they convert on third.
There are a lot of tough routes to try and cover. When you see a runner come out of the backfield and run this angle route, looks like they're going to the flat, and then they put their foot in the ground and cut back sharply inside, not easily covered. And then when they catch it, good momentum built up by them as well.
And able to pick up the first. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. The All-Pro Justin Houston in on the tackle.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red. Now here's a defensive timeout called by the Chiefs. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And the Chiefs showing a dime look as they defend this third down. They'll run it. Here's Anderson. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a first down. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
Everyone understood their role on that play. 3rd and 1. You know the defensive guys, they're trying to get down and get low and get leverage on the offensive lineman, but they didn't allow that to happen. They created a crease and allowed him to get through for a first down.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. And the Chiefs are going to signal for and be granted another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Second down to the offense, needing 5 yards. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. That's complete right around the 8. Well, we saw the practice film this week. They wanted to focus on these intermediate passing plays, and it paid off there.
And they took that focus not just to the practice field, but in the film room to show the guys exactly what they wanted, what types of looks they should expect to get, and how they would beat those coverages each and every time.
Anderson loses the football, and I think the Chiefs have it. They do.
Pardon me, you know how often we hear about the red zone, right? From the 20-yard line going in, that scoring zone, getting points on the board. A lot of teams call from the 10-yard line in the green zone. That's your money zone. He fumbles the ball inside the money zone. You have one job, take care of the ball. That didn't happen.
He's going to sling this deep downfield into a double team, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that, because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. They go play action here on first down. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. It's a pickup of 19. And it'll give the Broncos a first down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Fresh set of downs here. They'll look to throw again. His throw caught right around the 6. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Red zone opportunity. Possible run anticipation. Here's the D-line sandwiches together.
Here we go. No. Patriot.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the free safety, Eric Berry. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. And now here comes Kansas City. And you got to think, if this is anything other than just taking a knee, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, they've got enough to talk about at the half. Why do anything else? Just get out of there.
The drive will start with Josh Ferguson. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. So we've come upon halftime here in Arrowhead with the Chiefs on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando as we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports halftime report. Larry, so both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Caught, Kelsey, left side. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
They brought in an extra defensive back here, so probably not expecting a run on 3rd and 3.
A good call.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Here's Drew Butler now as he's on to punt for Kansas City.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out if that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. They run it again with Anderson. Oh, nice move. And down he'll go at the 25. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
So 5 yards remain now, still first down. He'll look to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Jay Howard in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, that allows your blitzers to get there. In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
All right, here we go.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Well, pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. No, he doesn't have it. Maybe some alligator arms there going over the middle. Third down.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested, and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
So a ways to go here on 3rd and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. And give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
And fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense, and guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Now back to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he gets it down to the 32. Give him 6 on the screen, but now it's 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
so well,
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. He's going to go deep for Conley. It's caught inside the 25. It's a big play there for the Chiefs. 54 yards. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. 2nd down following the run.
Let's go. Green.
He'll look to throw. Caught here by Conley. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the 1st down as he's tackled at the 2. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defense side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
And he is in. Touchdown, Kansas City. Josh Ferguson with his second touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Chiefs are able to grow their lead. It's good to make it 17-7. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
That's just flat out a terrific play, because it's rare that you see a hitch route batted down.
That means someone read that one really well and was right on the spot when the ball got to the receiver.
Second down here after the incomplete pass. Back to throw here. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
If you're a defender, one of the fun things about playing zone defenses, especially in today's football, is that it's not as static as it was in the good old days, meaning you just drop to a point and react to the football. Now you end up with a lot of man-to-man principles once you get into your zone defense. In other words, get to your assignment and then locate a guy coming into your area, and then you end up covering him almost man for man. That allows him to make more plays on the football like the one we just saw there.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
So the defense forces a 3-and-out, but they got some help along the way. They threw it on first down, and when they were unsuccessful, it became 2nd and long. Didn't get it again on another pass. Went 3rd and long, and they almost had to put it in the air. They may want to rethink some strategy going forward.
Fielded at the 20. So there you go, holding by the offense, and that'll push him back.
Changes everything now as you try and figure out what your playbook has for you. Longer yardage situations, tougher to execute and pick up first downs.
Watch left. Start right there.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. A very solid gain of 27.
That was a beautifully executed screen pass. They let the rushers get upfield and get the escorts in front, meaning the offensive linemen, other blockers out in front, completed the pass beautifully. So now you've got all that open space with big guys leading the way.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And Conley's got it over the middle. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. And now the offense operates in the red zone. We're back now in KC. It's the Chiefs with the lead and the football here as we get set for quarter number 4. Only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Chris Conley, his 6th touchdown of the season, and the Chiefs add on to their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, That should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So the Broncos coming out now. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. Again, we'll see the pistol here. He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. And that right there will set him back a bit on the offensive holding penalty.
And you know who you want to pressure after a penalty like that? The guy who just committed the foul. You want to see if he's going to keep his head down or if he's going to get his head right back into the game. I'd send a blitz at him right away and see if he holds up.
All right, here we go.
He'll drop to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
So incomplete on 2nd down. Now they'll look to convert here on 3rd. One receiver left, 3 to the right. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off, and he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a KC touchdown. 3rd down, passing down. They throw the extra defensive back in there for a nickel package, and it worked out.
And it's not anything that you would think is just great strategy. It's just that when you have 5 defensive backs on the field and an obvious passing down, it's a lot tougher to complete a pass. And on that play, they completed it just to the wrong team, and it cost them 6 points.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This is taken about 7 yards deep.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
In the backfield is Anderson. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And a quick throw here, that's complete. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it's a 2nd down. And they're 6 yards away from picking up the first here on 2nd down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
The completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Watch left, watch left. Come on, D. Here we go now. Blue, landing. Blue.
They go play action here on 1st down. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. Second and just 1.
Let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. He can muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a 3rd and very short. And an extra DB here for the Chiefs on 3rd down.
Pass situation.
They run. Anderson. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And now here is another interception. Picked off by the free safety, Eric Berry. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. Right back to Ferguson. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. The Pro Bowler Chris Harris is in on the tackle.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
So following the run, we'll see what they do here on 3rd down.
I'm coming after you, 25. I'm coming after you, 25. All right, here we go.
They're going to look to throw. Caught here by Conley. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the 2nd half. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And this one's out of bounds. Should be inside the 10, I think it is. At the 6-yard line. And now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Defense in a good spot. Let's see how the offense responds with a 2nd and 13 now. From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. And got his man complete. He's at the 40, 20, 10, 5, and all the way home for a Broncos score. Their dangerous wide receiver, 97 yards. And the Broncos cut into that lead. Well, they were back in the shadows of their own goalpost, and that flipped quickly.
So much for playing it safe. I mean, a conservative, easy call. Run the football, take care of it, create some space, punt the ball away. But no, let's throw it. And sometimes a defense's aggressiveness is used against them because when you've got people backed up, your natural inclination is to try and really force them back. And sometimes they get burned that way.
And they got burned there. The Broncos kickoff unit out there to kick this one away. Tyreek Hill on the return. Room here to run. And now off to the races down the right side. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Such an electric play. So much fun to watch. And you need all 11 guys in sync for that to be successful, don't you?
Without a doubt. That's teamwork to be able to put it all together. But that play is really probably the most exciting 10 seconds in football.
So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And coming out now, the Broncos. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they've got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scoreboard watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive?
We wouldn't be telling the truth if we said that they didn't scoreboard watch. Everyone does it to some extent. But you've got to set it aside right now and just focus on this series. That'll take care of the scoreboard if they punch it into the end zone. Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Green 39! Green 39!
Out of the gun now on third down. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he's going to be marked down deep into Kansas City territory. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this.
All right, here we go.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Jay Howard in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Toe here for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Anderson. He lost 4 there, and it's third down.
When you put together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
All right, here we go.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long. And now he's closing in on 450 yards passing.
That's an incredible number. I mean, you're talking about the best defenders in the world that you're trying to throw the ball against, and you're creating that type of a number. Fantastic job, fantastic performance. He's going to have to ice up his arm afterwards, too.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Chiefs' defense comes up with a stop. And out come the Chiefs now. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
Well, I know at points in this when you want...